Philadelphia 76ers bringing back the iconic black Allen Iverson era jerseys. The uniform that represents the last time the Sixers were relevant contenders. Notice I said relevant contenders to those who have issues comprehending. Because people be like, well, the NBA era. Man, that's not a contender, number one. Relevant, yeah. Because the Sixers have been one of the more highlighted teams over the past, 6-7 years now. But yeah, the team hasn't been past the second round. And that Atlantic Division title from 2021, nobody even acknowledges that. Because for one, it was only a 72 game season. And two, the way they went out in the second round, lose as the first seed, losing to a fifth seed team and losing 3 out of 4 home games. But 2001 is the last time the Sixers were relevant contenders. AI, the league MVP, scoring title, All-Star MVP, would have been East Playoff MVP had the award been around. The Dikembe Mutombo, rest in peace. Defensive Player of the Year, Larry Brown, Coach of the Year. The Philly homie, Aaron McKee, Sixth Man of the Year. Sixers first seed in the East, 56-26. They haven't even eclipsed the 56 win mark since that year. But, I mean, it was a remarkable season. Finally got payback on the Pacers. The 7-game battle with Vince and the Raptors. Then Ray Allen and the Bucks. And for those talking about, oh, the Bucks were robbed. No, the fuck they weren't. Had the Sixers been healthy, the Bucks would have been done in 5 games. And I stated this on the video I did about this a couple of years ago now. Because people always, I see a lot of people, oh, the Bucks were robbed because nobody wanted to see Milwaukee and LA. I mean, they didn't. Who wouldn't want to see the Sixers representing the East over the Bucks? But they weren't robbed. They weren't robbed. That's just George Karl's racist ass butthurt. He was still butthurt over 94 when his first seeded Supersonics were upset by the 8th seeded Denver Nuggets led by Dikembe Mutombo, who was the starting center on that 2001 Sixers team. But like I said before, the Sixers team was so beat up during that playoff run. Because honestly, they should have beat Toronto in 5 games as well. George Lynch going down really hurt that team. And I'm not saying a healthy Sixer team would have beat the Lakers because nobody was beating LA that year. Nobody. I would say at best, a healthy Sixers game might have extended the series one more game. One more game, maybe. Because besides that game 1 win, I think Philly would have took one of those home games with a healthier team. But even still, we wouldn't have went no further than 6 games. If it had went 7, that would have been a miracle. But I've been calling for these jerseys now for 10 years. I know I was the first one that said something about this back in 2015. This was during the era where nobody was going to Sixer games. The team was so bad that opposing teams rested their star players whenever they came to town. I remember I sold a game for Cleveland. This was when LeBron had went back to Cleveland. And I remember they sat LeBron and Kyrie Irving that game. But I remember selling tickets for that game at the beginning of the year. I sold both my tickets and got $300 for them. And then I turned around and somebody gave me a ticket after they found out LeBron and Kyrie weren't playing. I only went to the game, and this was the era where I was only going to the games just because I was a diehard fan and just to socialize. That was during the era where I rarely ever sat in my seat during the game. I was always chopping it up with one of the ushers or walking around the arena or whatever. But I called for those uniforms then. Then around the 2019, that's when everybody really started campaigning for them to bring back the black jersey threads. They should have been done it, but they're doing it now because they know this is a way to bring fans back into the games. Because after 2024, I stopped my season tickets. And after this past season, plenty more stopped their season tickets. So the organization making money moves. Okay, let's finally bring back the black iconic AI3 era jerseys that represents the last time that this team won anything, which was an Eastern Conference title. Now they know because they have 14 scheduled games where the Sixers will be wearing these jerseys. And they're going to have the throwback floor and everything. Now, I already said I might go to a couple of those games just off the strength. But I definitely will go when they honor the 2001 team. Because 2001, man, that takes me back. The prime of my Panther Hawk era. Work up there at PCOM, being around the team every day during that time, that was just like a different kind of fanhood. It made you feel like an exclusive fan. Because I was already a season ticket holder going to all the games. I lived right down the street from St. Joe's. Even though the Sixers weren't practicing there no more, they still frequented that area because they went to the barbershop. You know, Larry's was right there. So it was like it was a different kind of fanhood. Plus being around them after practice when they'd be in the weight room working out or whatever. I remember playing all the legendary games with Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, George Lynch. I know Theo Ratliff and Tyrone Hill. I might have hooped with AI maybe once or twice. But you know, Al, he was always out after practice, or he would go straight to the locker room or whatever, and then he'd eventually bounce. Because he was always trying to dip out, you know what I mean, and avoid the reporters or say as little as he could. You know what I mean? AI was always wilding, but all that shit they made about him never going to practice, that was bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, he skipped practices, but you know how the media had to blow that up. There was already an agenda against AI. Hence the dress code. Hence the fact that after 2001, the league never wanted to see AI amongst the top players in the league on the contender team. That's why the Sixers was robbed in 2002, 3, and after 2001, the AI-less Sixers were never relevant again. They only got past the first round once. Then, you know, 2004, 2006, Sixers didn't even make the playoffs. Then, you know what I mean, midway through 06, 07, AI was traded anyway. But it's a good time to, it's definitely a good time to bring back those unis, though. Definitely. I mean, they gotta bring the fans out. Now, as far as the team having any success this year, this would be the perfect time for the Sixers to finally turn things around and to finally accomplish something during the Joel Embiid era. I mean, it'd be nice because I'm sure they want to honor that team this year. I'm sure AI, all the OGs from that team will be back and they'll honor that squad. This would be the year for the Sixers to finally do something. Definitely get past the second round. But, you know, at this point, that's a lofty goal with this team. Already got the custom shirt with the Sixer logos from that era, along with my custom black number 33 Hawke'S jersey. I'll rock that jersey proudly during that era. I remember I first got the jersey in '98. Like the first season the Sixers had those jerseys. I got it custom made. Matter of fact, I had two of them because I got another one made a couple of years later. But I mean, though, to me, that jersey is my favorite all time, along with the road red from the '83 championship season and the road blue from the '67 season. Those three are my top three all-time favorite 76er jerseys. I'm gonna do a tier on all of my on the Sixer jerseys. Like those three I just mentioned will be at the top tier. Then I would think for the second tier, I think I would add the very first Road 76er jersey from 63 to 65. I will put that one on the second tier. I don't even know which other ones I will put on the second tier. But those first three I mentioned would be the top. Now I know a lot of OG fans, they didn't like the road black jerseys for whatever reasons. Maybe because they were so used to the red, white, and blue. Now what I liked about the new logo, with that logo, was that they did manage to incorporate some red, white, and blue along with the predominantly black, gold, and silver. Remember, the logo was largely gold and silver, with all the other colors just like kind of blended in. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. At the very first, when they changed it, I wasn't a fan of it because, like everybody else, I was so used to the red, white, and blue. Now, Sixers had wore road red from 1978 through 97. Prior to that, they always wore mostly road blue, with little brief periods of road red. Now, I know 65, 66, they had the road red top with the bottom. 68, 69, and 69, 70, and 70, 71, they wore road red. But from 71 to 78, it was road blue. Just three different iterations of Sixer jerseys. But the road black. And I see fans saying it's pathetic that you have to celebrate, the only thing you have to celebrate in 25 years is getting to the finals and getting beat down by the Lakers. I'm like, you got to celebrate something. And 25 years is, because that's a quarter of a century. A lot of these Sixer fans either weren't born or too young to remember 2001. Me and my homie was just talking about this the other day when we said, man, 2001, man, that was a time. And just like a lot of the older Sixer fans, 50 and up, feel sorry for us, is like, because we were too young or not born in 83 when the Sixers won. So that's how we feel about the younger fans about 01. See, to us, 2001 was our championship, sad to say. And I always tell people this, out of those Lakers teams that three-peated in the early 2000s, you have the big controversy about how the Kings was robbed in 2002. And you've heard rumblings about Portland being robbed in 2000. You don't hear nothing about the Lakers' 2001 title, except they would have swept through the playoffs if it hadn't been for AI in Game 1. And that's really the highlight to the celebration, is that Game 1 win against the Lakers when nobody in the world had the Sixers winning the game. And that was AI's third straight 40-point game of the playoffs. The 46 in Game 6 in Milwaukee when the Sixers came back down 33 to only lose by 10. The Game 7 win at home, AI dropped 44. Then a 48 points in overtime. The step over Tyronn Lue, man, is iconic. Yeah, Sixers won the game, but they lost the series. But I mean, that's what we're celebrating 25 years later. And what makes that season so special to me is that's the year I was in 12th grade and graduated. Matter of fact, we graduated Overbrook High School class in 2001. Shout out to them, fellow Panther Hawks. We graduated June 14th, and the next day, the Lakers wrapped up the title with a Game 5 win. And I was at all 5 games. I went to every Sixer game that season. I went to all 41 home games, all the home playoff games. I was at the first 2 games out in LA. I was at Game 6 in Milwaukee. Remember, I always had the airline connect through my mom's husband. I went to all 3 of the road games in Toronto. Now, I didn't go to any... Matter of fact, I did go to games 3 and 4 in Indiana. That was the very first time I ever went to Indiana. So I was at majority of the playoff games. So, man, that was a time. So, I don't know. It would only have to be in honor of myself and me reminiscing of that era, why I'll probably go to a couple of games, but only when they're wearing those jersey threads. But better late than never for the Sixers to do this. You know, this is Josh Harris' way of recouping money that they've lost. Because, I mean, it's like the dog and pony show's over with the Sixers. At this point, you know, I mean, you would have to be an idiot to buy into anything that they're doing. You know what I mean? They're showing still images of Joel Embiid at practice. Yeah, he lost weight. He looked good from the pictures, but how about posting videos? And videos, a 10, 15 second video clip ain't going to do shit anyway. So, but anyway, I'm going to remain optimistic, yet not stupid. Because you always want to wish the best for the home team. But anyway, shout out to the Sixers bringing back the iconic road black AI eras, some of my favorite jersey threads. I got plenty of those hats with that logo. I got a couple of the custom shirts. I still got the actual jersey I might even wear this year. But anyway, like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more content. Hawk out.